Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the members stream, Charlie's Angel stream. And there's Charlie. He's been extra attention seeking lately. I think it's the cold. At least I hope it's the cold. He has been wanting to snuggle, and he has been wanting to be on my shoulder all the time. Right before I started, he was trying to climb up onto my shoulder again. So how's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Hi, Keith and Delmar and Stuart and Stobor. Hey, Lucas and Malfred. Hey, Luke. Victor, PF Dennis. Gerard, Don't Knock It, and Panzerkaden. Hey, Jorg. Agent Monroe, Rod, James. Hey, Poity. Hey, NH3D. Hey, Delmar. Hey, Buddha. How's everyone doing? Thank you for responding so well. So many votes in the little poll I did. It was really actually fairly close, about a 60-40 split. And there's a chance we might see both printers today, depending on how it goes. This is really going to be a hangout and make some progress on projects I want to work on, rather than starts of projects. If you get the difference there. Hey, Stefan. Hey, Andrew. Hey, Smalls. Scott. I don't know if anybody pays attention to Twitter, and regardless of whatever's going on there, I'd still posted a couple of things. But this morning, Charlie was being extra, taking extra attention to the printers. So I posted a couple of pictures out there. It's Steve_builds. So, hey, Colin. Hey, dudes. Just finished my work for the day. Awesome. He is going after something over there. We'll see how that goes. Hey, Keith. Just in time for Charlie time, yes. So, how's everything looking? This weekend kind of snuck up on me. Wasn't quite expecting it to hit here so fast, so hopefully we're all good. So, what the plan is this printer stopped working on me for some reason. I stole apart the little 5-volt auxiliary power board that Big Tree Tech has for their minis for a different project, and I put it back on here, and after that it hasn't worked. It won't power on. There we go. It won't power on, so that prompted me to decide to try something new on the Legacy here. So I'm gonna do a controller change, which necessitated a new printed enclosure housing, a customized enclosure housing, and I'm gonna switch it to direct drive because tuning a Bowden this long is for the birds, or the wannabe birds. So. Hey, Golden Jaguar. So. Yeah, so the plan, we will not get to much of that today. So the plan is to just kind of investigate why, or at least make sure the Pi is still okay in here. And then maybe install the new enclosure, install the electronics in there, but I'm nowhere near prepared to finish a project today. We're gonna spend a couple hours today playing around. If I run out of things to do on here, I have the Enderwire right here. A couple of things I want to do on there we can get to. But this is what we'll start with. So Ancient, I normally do have chat on the stream. The problem is that since it's a members only stream, the chat, it doesn't have permissions to chat. It can't display. It can't display. We tried that. Now I haven't looked really close at alternate solutions, but unfortunately, when I try to put chat up, it doesn't have permissions to the stream. So normally I do. For a regular stream, tomorrow's stream will have chat on there. So, is it 180? This is a 230 millimeter print area. So, anyway, where we have don't knock it. Are all your printers stealth burner now? No. I have a V2 that still has afterburner, and I have a switch wire that still has afterburner. I think those are the only two. So, hi Linus. Remember this now though, it's been a while. If anybody has a solution to the chat on screen during a member stream, I thought about, and I just didn't get to trying it. I thought about just capturing the window and displaying it as an overlay, but it doesn't format right. It was taking too long to figure out. So I'm gonna close the door real quick. We'll see how things go. Okay. So, like I said, more of a hangout and make some progress, but not necessarily the start of a project. So, the plan for this printer then, getting into that, what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to install a Manta, the Big Tree Tech Manta M4P. I have no prior experience with this, and I bought this myself off of Amazon, but it is a 4-driver controller board with a compute module spot for the Pi solution. Now, it'll take either a genuine Pi compute module 4, if you can get one, or they make something called, what do they call it? The CB1, which is a clone, basically, an alternate Pi. So that is what I'm going to use. 4 drivers, so I need a 5th. So I'm gonna run CAN, and I have a EBB36 CAN toolhead board here that I'm gonna run. So we'll see how all that works out. Let me put that stuff away for now. So let me let Charlie out because he already wants back out. And we'll have to listen for that. So in order to fit the Manta board, I needed to design a new enclosure housing for it. So this is taller or thicker to allow room for things, and I needed access to the SD card spots. So I modeled in some access, made it thicker, and then on the inside I modeled in the mounting bosses for the controller. So, hey Rod, thank you. Steve Build stream is a good stream, better than looking outside. The white stuff piling up. We don't get any white stuff here. Without getting it, I wish we did, but if we did get it, I'm sure I wish we didn't. Do you use the Legacy a lot? I do not, but I'd like to use it more for my PLA prints, PLA and PETG prints. And I think I would use it more if it was easier to tune. And I believe with a direct drive setup on here with CAN and everything a little more compact, not so big of a umbilical here, I think it'll get used more. I'm letting Charlie in already because it's gonna be one of those days. So we'll see how that goes. Let me move this out of the way so it's easier for him to move around. About 30 miles from me, they have 77 inches of snow. Whew. So let's move this stuff out of the way. Have a controller box here, and then the idea here, and let's grab the board again, is this board requires access to a full-size SD card and a micro SD. So I modeled in a couple of access port areas for those. And it seemed to turn out pretty well. So. I'd like to get to the point where I'm bolting the controller on there, making sure everything fits. Back panel, and we'll go from there. So, but first, let's figure out what's going on with the setup as it is. Now, last time I powered this on, nothing happened. So just to confirm that something else isn't, that's still the case, let me power it on and see if nothing still happens. Grab a short power cable here. Let's power it on and see what happens. Give it a second, see if we get anything on the screen, or so I can pull the back panel and see if we get any lights. What is going on? This is weird. Let me check something here real quick with the stream. Let me make sure I'm getting the proper, there we are. Chat was popped out weirdly for what I read off of. Okay. So this is on. It still hasn't come up. It should have come up by now. I don't see any lights on there through the fan hole. I'm not quite sure what's going on. So let's turn it off and start looking. So it's still a problem. Where did my screwdriver go? Aha! I was working on this printer. Actually, just to appease the masses, is a PSU enclosure printed in ABS? Yes. The whole electronics enclosure there is printed in ABS, which I do have some warping on it. I have been having a hard time getting that print, but I probably have a little too much fan going, and I'm gonna try it again later with less fan. Hey, Kelvin. Oh, what did we miss? We missed something? Oh, okay. Just the 4 screws, and this comes off. This is a input shaper pigtail that I had put in here. So let's give you a little look at what I did here. So last year, about a year ago, I did a short build series on Legacy, not building one, but I needed to change out my Pi, and I put in a Pi 3A. Hey, Christian, and you know? Hey, BBs. Welcome. So let's see if we can get, let's turn this over here. There we go. So last year we did a little bit of work on this, and I put in a new enclosure with mounts for a Pi 3A, and I use this. I'm using this pigtail here for input shaping. So take that off, and then, as I've mentioned, there's this little add-on board that Big Tree Tech makes that supplies more power. It's a voltage regulator to supply more power capacity to the 5-volt rail, because I was powering the Pi off the SKR Mini, and this is the Mini E3 Turbo. Now, none of this seems to be working. Let's get a longer power cable. Is this one gonna be long enough? No. Let me grab a different one. I'll grab a different one. And let's just get since we get a good look here at any lights, let's plug it in. Hey, Sanity. Hey, Ulrich from Denmark. Hey, FBWA. Okay, so we're gonna plug this in and then turn it on, and notice we really just don't get anything. I get power LED on the power supply. And I guess we can check to see if we're still getting output from the power supply. Hey, Scott. So let's go voltage and check to make sure we have got, I'm gonna go in over here, and we're getting 24 volts out of the power supply still. Hey, Thomas. Put that away. So something is just not powering, and I don't know. I wasn't gonna go super deep into it. I'm gonna pull the Pi, I'm gonna power it separately and see if it comes up. Hopefully I didn't fry the Pi. Let's turn this off and unplug it. So at this point, we're just gonna disassemble. No matter how many protests the robot might give, we're gonna unbuild. So let's go back here, get a little better overall view, and just start unplugging things. Since one way or another, I want to, Stuart, that's a good idea. Let's try that. Hey, Sebastian. Stuart suggested maybe a blown fuse. So let's double check that just because. Let's double check. Let's check our 5 volt, or we have a 20 amp fuse. And that one is visibly fine. I think on the 20 amp, we would absolutely be able to see that if it was not. Oh, shoot. Good call. Well, let's power this thing back up and see if it actually works. We have a blown fuse. Good call, Stuart. I feel a little embarrassed to not have checked that, but it's one of those things where I decided, you know what, it's not working. Let's do something different on it. Any excuse. I'm letting Charlie out. Good call. Let's tighten these back up and let's power it on. Let's see how. Okay, now I gotta find a fuse. Where would I have a fuse? I have plenty of extra controller boards that probably have fuses on them. 10 amp fuse, I've got one right here. Well, and let's find out if it blows as soon as I try to plug it in again. So I just grabbed another 10 amp fuse. It really was the point where I wanted to do something different on here anyway. It's no real good excuse. I should have checked, but that's a good lesson. Stuart wins the day. That's the question, Rod. As soon as I plug this in, is it gonna blow again? Let's do a visual inspection of everything on here. Charlie wants in already. Yes, 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 yes. Oh. I think he's trying to tell me to just prop the door open. Let's do a visual inspection first. Let's see if I can get a reasonable angle here. There we go. And magnification, and see if I can, and maybe some extra light. It might blow out the camera, but it'll help me to see. If I see any components that are fried, anything that's loose, I do not see anything. I do see a Charlie. And this is just a on-camera quick. Yep. I think he likes this printer better than the Enderwire. Or maybe it's just because it's the one that's in front of me. Okay, I don't see anything on a quick skim of a visual inspection. So, well, let's just power it on. I'm prepared to replace everything on here anyway. Let's make sure we get a good, oh, well, there it goes. I left the power switch on. I just plugged it in and it turned on. So things are on. Things are on. Let's go back here so you get a view of Charlie. I think he just wants to be taller than me, or at least on my eye level. See. Let's see. Hey, it's on. It's working. We're still gonna take it apart. Let's go back. Let's go over here. And let's bring it up. Let's see what legacy.local. Let's see if that comes up. Nope. So I've never been there on this printer, on this computer. That should work. Why not? No S. There we go. Charlie's waiting for his heat map to start. Yeah. Okay. I have not done much with this. Let's see what versions and all that good stuff we're at. Oh, here's something we can do. I have no idea how to do it. Let's see if we can figure it out. I want to back up my history, the history database. I like having as much of a complete history as I can on these printers since we have it. Let's see if we can figure out how to do that. Maybe LDO should make a legacy kit and market it as an adjustable cartridge. Yes. Maybe a quick test of operation. Yeah, we'll go through a bunch of stuff, but I wanna go in here, just checking. We've got older versions of things. But let's go to, what is it? Docs. Well, isn't there a link over here to the Moonraker docs? Moonraker documentation. Read the docs. Moonraker.readthedocs.io. That's right. So annoying when it switches to HVS and it can't reach the pi in like 0.1 seconds. So isn't there a way, is there anything in here for, let's go, history. Is there some documentation here on how to back up your history? I don't know that there is. I'm just checking. Does anybody know how to back up the history? Let's try back up. Is it a Moonraker thing or is it a Mainsail thing? I think it would be a Moonraker thing, right? I'll give it a second for that question to get out there. Does anybody know where documentation might be for backing up your history database? I know I've been walked through it before. The database thing in Moonraker. Oh, is it built into the interface now? If I update all of this, will I get the... Oh, that's just a view. I've done it before and someone walked me through it, but I don't remember how. Is that a function in the newer versions of the interface? If I update this, will I get the option? Because I'm on an older version, so maybe it's worth updating it before we go any further. We got logs and stuff, so let's update it. I'm okay with just updating it. Let's do a quick refresh. I think that takes us to all the new things. This will be good. I see a button in the interface, the DB symbol, interface settings. I see it in 2.2.1. I'm 2.1.2. Is there an interface settings? Is it up here? UI settings. Yeah, I bet you it's not in this version. So let's just update and see what we get. Yeah, so NH3D. So the plan here is to not use this Pi for this printer after this. So I'll be using the CB1 on the Manta 4P board. So I want to back up my database and be able to restore it on that. It's in print history right next to the refresh button, and it's not here. So let's go ahead and update. That's the plan. So here, this is still refreshing. You said under general while we're waiting for that to refresh. Let's try general. Oh, here we go. Here we go. In this version, it's under that. That's what you're trying to tell me. There's no reason to update this then. Interface settings, general, Moonraker DB. So the question is, so here for chat, is it better to update and then export? Is there a file format change that might have occurred? Is there a file format change, or am I safe just saying backup? So we found it. It's in interface settings general, at least in this version of Mainsail, which is 2.1 something. The one in newer just gives you a CSV with the history. I'm gonna update. I think that's smart because we're quite old on here. And I don't really care if the controller doesn't come up because it doesn't get updated. I like where you're going though, Colin. You're suggesting the backup, then update, then back up again. I like that. So let's back up. And we're gonna I'm gonna grab everything. Oh, and it doesn't have history there. But we're going to open this, and this is backup Mainsail. Let's rename this to Legacy pre-update. Sure, whatever. As far as I know, you cannot re-import the export, just the backup restore. Okay. So really my fallback here is I'm not doing anything with the Pi. So later I can open it and go in and do any other work I need to do to get the data. So let's close this. Let's update all components and see what changes. I wonder what blew this fuse though. I'm really curious. Well, it didn't actually do anything. Always update. Are you sure your new clone will run Linux? Yeah. Yeah, it runs some form of Linux. Update all components didn't work. Not doing anything. Let's see what happens here. Let's refresh. But I'm also unsure if you actually get the history via the backup function. I have been walked through backing up the history before. So worst case, I can ask that person again. I can ask that question again and get it done off the Pi directly after. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, now we get a new screen here. Let's try update all components. Does that just not work in this version? I'm just gonna go through the... Let's just go through. Oh, nothing's working. None of the updates are working. Hey, Melting SP. It should be default in there. Well, I've tried to click the update all button a couple of times. Things are not actually working. Update. Update. Get an answer on the new forum. Oh, that's right. Everybody aware of the new forum? Forum.vorondesign.com. There's a new forum out there. A new way to communicate. Some people prefer a forum, some people prefer Discord, some people prefer Facebook. I wonder if it can't get to the internet for some reason. Well, it should be able to. Oh, there we go. Wow. I did nothing. It's just very slow. Okay. You can open up the JSON file and see if there's anything listed for history. The question is what to update first. Maybe I'll end up with incompatible parts. That's fine. I'll have to flash the controller if I want to. Is there a plan to consolidate our communication? No, it's more giving options, giving people the option to communicate how they're most comfortable. So it doesn't replace anything. It's just another option. And it's really nice. Forums are really nice for things like build logs, stuff like that. Let's look at that JSON file and see what's in it while we're waiting. Oh, okay. It is one line. History does not come up in the search, so I don't think it includes it. This is just settings. So let's see what happens when we're on the new version. Hey, Squirrel Brain. When the new board is in, you'll have a Pi spare, which is always a good thing. Yes, I have a few Pi spares. How long has it been out of action? Several months. I need to refine my backup procedures. Things have changed. This is where the data actually is. Yeah, we'll get it. It does not contain your history. Nope. Can you back up your history with newer versions of the interface? Is there an option to back up the history? Or does that all have to be a manual process? That's a question. Does anybody know that? Am I going down a path we're not going to see an end to? Trying to follow a conversation in Discord after the fact is very hard. Yes. I hope that folks don't try to use the forum like they use Discord, because they're very different things, right? Let's let this go through. Let me see here. I am going to switch around a few bits and pieces here. Give you all what you want. Seems to be the manual, at least for History DB. Okay, so we'll let this finish and then I'll do the database backup later, unless somebody wants to walk me through it, but I don't know if it's worth doing on here. Main cell shows a section for enable print history tracking. Would it be possible to maintain, follow, and moderate Discord and the forums? Yeah, we have enough people, I think. Any news time on TAP? We are going to assemble TAP tomorrow on stream. So the public stream tomorrow will be putting together a TAP. Now, when it gets released, should be the end of this month. I don't have anything new or updated beyond beyond what was covered on the Voron Live. I did, just before stream, get my optical tap board that I need to put the optical sensor on that we'll be using tomorrow. I only had one before this, and it's on a printer, so. But yeah, we'll be installing, going to Clockwork 2. So all of this we're gonna work on tomorrow is on my blue and gray and Lulzbot green Voron 2.4, the LDO kit that I built last Christmas time. It has currently Stealth Burner cooling, but Clockwork 1 on it. And I'm going to install Clockwork 2 with a new toolhead PCB. Will be going on there, and also tap with this optical board, 24 volt capable optical board. That's lovingly confusing. How about Moonraker days? Just making sure I'm reasonably updated. Yes, my Subaru themed wasn't originally intended to be that, but it does work out, especially since I have, which my Subaru runs again, by the way. I've been driving my STI around. Free up my truck for my son to drive. I hope this doesn't take too long to do this update. But yeah, this board came in literally 5 minutes before stream. That's why I started just a little late, because I walked out to the mailbox to retrieve it and make sure it got here. On my install, the database is home Pi Moonraker database, but no idea to change the values in the new Pi without only the whole file. There was a process that someone walked me through to actually extract the history data and then re-import it. So I'll look at that a little later then. I won't worry about it right now, but we started an update, so we're gonna let that finish. I just ordered the CW2 CAN board from Big Tree Tech. Oh, they have a Clockwork 2, like Stealth Burner style CAN board. That's cool. I'm using the Mellow version in one printer, and we'll be using the Mellow version in the Tridex. I did not, Poity. I did not get the other package. I was hoping it would be here today. Probably next week. I have two 50mm MGN 9 rails here waiting. So thanks for the tap update. Just want to order needed parts early to get till Christmas. Yep. At the Moonraker database folder, I ordered from Mello, but they're locked down. Yeah. I ordered from Mello before they got locked down, and I placed an order, and the next day I had a shipping notice, and like less than 2 weeks later I had what I ordered. So it's really unfortunate that they're locked down, because otherwise they seem to be quick. Now, my Mello board, I installed one, the CAN board, in my purple Trident, and the 2040, the RP 2040 on there gets toasty. You folks warned me about that. It's measuring almost 81C in a 61C chamber temp, but it seemed to cap out there because after 9 hours, that's where it was. Now the spec sheet for the 2040 says max 85C, so I'm just gonna run it and see how long it lasts, and if I have to replace it, then I will. And on the newer GUI, it gives you a button that results in export of the file called printhistory.csv. I don't see an import button, so I'm looking for that or where the file is. Okay. Hi, Sean. Throw a heatsink on the 2040. I did. I put one of those small Pi, the ones you can buy for Pis or whatever. I put a small heatsink on there, and that's with that heatsink. But a heatsink only does, I mean, it's extra mass, right? But you probably need some airflow. I want to avoid putting on a fan. I'm just going to run it and see if it fails. If it never fails, then cool. As far as I know, you can only use that CFV to put into Excel. You can't actually get it back. So that's interesting. No import function. Now, like I said, I've done it. I'll just have to get a hold of the person who helped walk me through it to do that again. But we won't worry about it then. I'm going to let this finish, and then we're going to take it apart. So this is kind of wasted time, but I also don't want to corrupt this install in case I want to do something with it. $80 to $85C still seems perfectly fine with chips like this. Well, the Raspberry spec sheet says 85C max. Now I'm sure there's that's a safe value. So we'll see how it does, and we'll see how it does next summer once it gets hotter, because I was hitting 61C chamber temp in probably 40 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that ends up being in C garage. Technically, I think you should be able to just move the DB around with WinSCP. We can try lots of things, and maybe I'll cover it. I'll explain how it went in a later video or later stream. So, what else? I have here. Let's see if we can get a little closer to Charlie. What else is going on? I've got lots going on, but I think tomorrow will be a fun stream. I need a little extra time, so tomorrow's a timely stream because I need a little extra time on Tridex. I have lots of prep work to do for the next one. And fortunately, this coming week is the holiday week, so I have some extra time off of work that I can use to help make that happen. Once it's updated, you can probably just copy the 2 MDB files. They're in the Moonraker database mentioned earlier in chat. Okay. And it's been long enough since I was helped through doing the database backup and restore. It may have simply been finding the right location and copying the files, but I don't remember. I don't remember. So sorry this is taking a while. I don't know what exactly it's updating right now. If it's still doing, is it still doing OS packages? I don't know how many. Is this able to be moved? No. It's weird to see an MDB file on Linux. I wonder if MS Access could read them. No audio. What? No audio. No audio. What audio? Hey, Tezza. I hope there's audio. It's saying it's the kernel, so yep, that's the OS. Oh yeah. I would have hoped that I would have gotten a screen full of Fs if I didn't have audio this whole time. How long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for 46 minutes already. Holy moly. What can I do while this is doing this? Oh, we can put heat sets. Let's shift this out of the way. Let's take this guy. So this, and there's some heat sets that need to go in. I don't know what we're gonna be able to look at. Let's go here. Sure. No, that's not gonna work. I don't have a great shot for this while I'm doing this other. Let's just shift this even further. That'll do. Strange not getting the audio on the stream. Was just watching another stream and had perfect sound. Weird. Oh, we got quite a few. And of course these are at an angle because they're right below the... There we go. Right below that one. Not the best access for the heat sets, but it's fine. Okay, need a few more, I forgot. What do we got? Oh, did Charlie shift? I don't know how he's not liking the cold as he gets older, but it just means he's more snuggly. So I printed this on my freshly rebuilt purple Trident with tap installed. First layer went down really well, but I think I was running too much fan and the whole thing warped a little bit. But I think it'll be good enough. Oh, where are we at? That is still updating. If you got a copy, try Microsoft Access. MDB was the old file format for, yep. There's some suggestion about tools to open it with Linux as well. MDB tools, GMDB was mentioned. Okay, so that does that. Can we just put the board in there? Is there any reason why not? Can we go here and here? There we go. That should have been what I did before. So, connectors. I bought the heat sink for the CB1 module. I have the board. Okay, so this goes like this, and I'm hoping when this is in here, I have enough room below to plug anything in I may need to. I hope. So we shall see. We have that and the antenna for the CB1. I'm not going to plug that in yet. I don't think I'm actually even going to plug the CB1 in yet. This is all mock-up stuff today. We're mocking up the install. So making sure I can get to everything, making sure I can get to the right SD cards that I need to. Hey, Derek. Enjoy the stream and lurking mode here, Steve. Thanks for the great content. Nice to see you working on your legacy. Awesome. Thanks for the 5. I've checked everything. Looks like I get no audio for this stream. That's really weird, Teza. I'm sorry. I have no idea. Is it working on another device? Do you have a phone or something just to see if it's that? And I'm not tightening this down all the way. Looks like I actually have a mislocation on my screws here. I wonder if that's shrinkage on the part or a dimension issue. Huh. Those aren't going to line up. The others line up, or at least seem to. Let's do that. Aw, fix. I had to refresh 4 times before it finally came through. Wow. Printer database is a symlink to home Moonraker. Now I'm less confused again. There we go. So for some reason, that screw hole right there doesn't line up. So I'm gonna have to investigate whether I put in a wrong dimension or if the data sheet is correct, but 3 will get us going. And then the big thing is I needed access to the micro SD and the SD card from the front there. Okay. Heat up the heat set and push it over. That's okay. I'm going to end up reprinting this anyway. I'm really not happy. I don't know if you can see the warp there. I don't like any warp. That's running through update still. So we gotta let that continue. This goes on here like that. At some point, those all line up. The data.mdb does not open and access directly. That's weird. Well, let's see. While we're waiting, let's go to let's go to the Big Tree Tech page for this. Big Tree Tech M4P GitHub. Manta M4P. Let's go to the hardware. And they have such long file names on here, we don't actually know that we got top, we got bottom, we got size, and we have pinout. So let's go to size. And let's open that image in a new tab. Now I should have had 97 millimeters from that hole to that one. So let's open up Fusion. Can I open Fusion here? Yeah, it's not on my other computer, so let's open up Fusion and look. That is starting up on my second screen, and I'll get that file open, then I'll move it over to the... Oh, it is not starting up on the second screen. Here we go. Let's go here. That way you don't have to watch my chin as I type in my stuff. Should reprint now with your printer running tap and let us see it starting the print. You'll see a print start tomorrow. We'll get a print starting tomorrow. 6. We will do all things tap tomorrow. Fusion is starting up. It's not quite as fast on this computer as on my main desktop, so. So man, I haven't found that too much, Scott. I've had pretty good luck. Let's see if it's a problem I created. It's very likely something I created. Almost have this open so I can share it. Are we okay over there? Let's go. Let's go there. Sorry for the shaky Charlie cam. That's better. Okay. Okay, this is open. The thing is still updating. I think the update is done, but let's play in Fusion for a minute since we're here. Let's bring it up. So this is the modified enclosure that we're looking at. It is in a funky orientation, but that's the model in there. Let's get the Manta out of the way and measure, measure the distance here. Measure that distance of, it's 95.6, so this is my fault. This is my fault. That should have been 97. So it is my fault. Let's see if I can fix that real quick while we're here. where did I do that? So this is the extrude. You see when I highlight that, it gives a little indicator down here in these 3 hash marks. Let's see, if you're a Trekkie fan, if Con made Fusion 360, no one would even understand it. Confusion. Someone has got to take John's place here today, huh? Andrew has the role. Hey, Master. I've had that on a few items later. I'm thinking the most recent was a Manta 8 board. Huh. Okay, so that's wrong. So in the timeline here, about here is when I extruded those. Let's look at the sketch right before that. So this looks like it might be the sketch that defines that. Let's edit that sketch. Nope. That just does the shape of it. Let's finish. Something back here is the sketch. Huh. Wonder where those are. Where did I create those? Oh, maybe it's not my fault. Let's bring this up, because I used the model. Because those are just a projection of the model. Let's see what we have here. What is the distance here? Where is that one? There it is. Ah, so you're right, Scott. It's a big tree tech problem. Hey, Justin. So the 3D model of the M4P board I have is off. Okay. Nope, the M4P model does not match their dimensions. That's annoying. Everything else fits, so it's just that hole. So I can adjust for that. The way I'm going to adjust for it is this is 95.675. So let's just do this. Let's turn our history back. I think right around here. Okay, so I moved back in history before I put all these fillets and stuff in place to make this a little easier. 95.675 is what the number was, if I remember right. So we're just gonna select these things, the faces, and we're gonna move. And we're gonna move in the I don't know what this is. This says translate versus free move. So we're gonna translate and we're gonna go this way and we're gonna go 95, oops, 5.675 minus 97. And that should move it the amount, since it should be 97, it should have moved it over that 1 point whatever millimeters. So you can do math within these values in Fusion 360. So if we go 95.675 minus 97, it's going to move it in the negative direction there, 1.325 millimeters. And we can confirm that by going here to here, and this is now 97 millimeters. So that fixes it. It should not break anything in the timeline, so we can go over here and just fast forward to the end. And we have a chamfer that wasn't happy here. So let's just double click that and see which one that was. Ah, okay. So since I moved it, you see if I hold down Control, it's telling me which chamfers this applied to. If I just go down here and just grab that, it'll match up the rest now. And say, okay. And now it'll be happy once it recalculates it. So now when I go to reprint this, it will be much closer at least to matching. Before I do that, I'm probably gonna add some wire management because that's what I wanted to do anyway. I'm gonna add some zip tie anchors along the top here. And maybe add a CAN USB to CAN mounting point as well, because I forgot to do that. So that, I mean, we're not gonna get into this deep. I just wanted to see why this didn't fit. A little bit of fusion action here. So save it, say okay. But that's I think the whole thing is about 10 millimeters thicker. So I remodeled a lot of it to make that, like these, the ends, everything. Anyway, and close. I'm just gonna minimize that in case we need it again. Let's go back here and try again, see if we can connect. And then we've got all kinds of errors because we've updated Clipper, not updated the MCU. Don't really care. Let's refresh. We're not going to be able to actually move the printer, but all the things are up to date. So what can we do? Do we have any new buttons? I think we already determined that there isn't a way to back up the history through the interface though, right? If we back up this, yeah, history is not listed, so I'm not gonna bother. I'll deal with that later. There's nothing in here. They, like I said, you can, oh, there's another button here. It says export history, but we can't import. We can export, but we can't import. So, that's fine. Let's shut it down and start taking things apart. Shut down the host. There's a new button at the history table, yeah, but that just exports to a CSV. There isn't an import, an accompanying import option. Every time I watch a Fusion video about something, I think I know there's some little trick I've never seen. Same here, absolutely same here. Okay, so that is shut down, so let's turn it off. Let's put this over here. Let's take some of this apart, I think. Check for any other gotchas before I reprint that big part. Okay, so now we're gonna start taking all of this. So the goal here is we're gonna install, even though I'm gonna reprint that, I still wanna make sure everything fits. I didn't run into any other clearance issues before I print it again with those changes. So let's take some of this stuff apart. That's that. I'm gonna move all these to my new piece. So even this part isn't quite the release. I changed the area around the power switch just to make it a little more open. I made an additional change here. So I made this little spot here to kind of discourage you from being able to get your finger in and touching that contact, which is exposed. That's the only real change to that. Let's see, everyone's still here? Yeah. Okay, so let's just start unplugging stuff. It's my UART and power for the Pi. Come off. don't know what. Is this better? Yeah. Oh, well, that's fun. The power fan, part cooling fan wire broke as I barely pulled on that wire. Good thing that's going to get replaced with the can setup. This thing's going to basically be rewired. This is basically going to be completely rewired when I install CAN. I really should try some of the alternatives to Fusion for the day Autodesk completely locks us out. Yeah, I've decided not to worry about that because I doubt it'll happen. I think there's the same chance with any system out there. Everybody jumping off of Autodesk and going to SolidWorks, Community Edition or whatever. I feel like there's the same chance of them closing that down as Fusion closing it down, so I haven't made any effort to try to switch away. Wanted to say thanks again for your advice on scheduling streams. Forgot to do it, so I'll have to let you know later. Would it be distasteful for me to plug my stream here? No, you're fine. You can talk about it. You can't put a link. You got a stream going? When's your stream? And what's the content? Let's hear that first. What are you going to be covering? That seems to happen to me on fans a lot, always so thin. Yeah, that was a little weird though. Okay. So that is there, and then I have a zip tie down in there to cut. Maybe I'll get that one from the outside. Yeah, I'll get that from the outside. These. So this out of the way, this out of the way. Maybe put it on its side. Okay, umbilical for the bed. And I have a USB cable that comes up to this USB to Mini 12864, the little whatever clipper board. So I need to unplug that before I can remove that. But I can get this wire out first. Here we go. This one and that one. I did try to learn one of the open source CAD packages, but it was a lot less friendly than Fusion. That's the nice thing about Fusion is how many tutorials there are. Stream is today at 5. I'm finishing up the first Pandora's box build. What's custom V0S printer I designed? Oh, awesome. Triple belted Z, 145 millimeter travel, or 145X and 125Y with a stock box 0 frame. What's a box 0? The free version of Fusion is hard to beat. It's very powerful for being free. And I'm on a startup license myself, so I have access to all the features. Pull the spool holder. Okay. This is all pulled out. Do I have, here we go. So I like to build project boxes. So anything I pull out of here, I'm gonna put in this project box so everything is in one spot when I go to work on it again. It's a V0 with taller verticals in the corner and no top hat. Okay. So I have a USB cable here that plugs in behind. It's a little tight behind this power supply, so I think I need to pull the power supply next. I'd be prepared to pay for a subscription for a maker version of Fusion, just not the amount they want. I agree, Colin. I really think there needs to be an extra tier in there. Master Mind is legit. Is that published anywhere? Master Mind? Okay. Is that enough? Nope, I got one more here. There we go. Box Zero's on 3DP France. Okay, I'll check that out then. Well, why don't we? I mean, we don't have any format here, so 3D printers for ants. Isn't there a main website? Printers for ants. Where's the? Well, let's just go here. And there should be a... What in the world? Isn't there just a web page for this stuff? Is it just printersforants.com? No. What's the web page for it? Printers for Ants. Printersforants.com didn't come up. And it's not coming up in a search. It's kind of annoying. Hey, John. "3D printers for ants. 3D printers for ants." Let's try. There we go. Yeah, not an extra tier from your I'm missing the bucks. No. Made for more money. Low plastic people. Okay, so we are talking about, what are we talking about? What was this called again? Pandora's box build. So let's go here. We have Dueling Zero, which is really cool. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. And since I had so much trouble, let's go here. There we go. Hey, see ya, John. Thanks for stopping by. Oh. Double Dragon, we got Dueling Zero, we have Crucible, F-Zero, Tri-Zero, and we have Scratch builds, which is Micron, Solid Fork, Tiny M, Tiny T. Oh, it's not on the main page? See my previous message for info on the Pandora's box. See what previous message. I am getting lost in what we're trying to find. I thought someone said it was on 3D printers for ants, so sorry. Did you send me a... No. Hey, Mastermind, send me a... Oh, it's Mind. I said Mind before. Mastermind, send me a message in Discord, then we'll bring it up. Send me a message in Discord. Sanity's link goes to box 0, but this is Pandora's box. Is that the same thing? Go to site. We have box 0. Yeah, I've got this. Is this what it is? I've got to run a couple of errands. Might pop in later. See ya, Agent Monroe. Thanks for being here. Is this what it is? It looks like a box. Oh, so it's like a box 0, but with more mods. Okay. We'll go to YouTube. Go to Mastermind. Does that come up? Nope. Taylor Swift Mastermind. Okay, well, I have a Discord message apparently. Let's check. My design hasn't been tested yet, so it's not there. Okay. But it doesn't mean it's not cool. Here's Pandora's box. Anybody can go. Gotta get back. Where is my chat? Here we go. You can go there. Information on Pandora's box, and you're saying that I misspelled mastermind on YouTube. So let's try that again. I said master, didn't I? Does that come up? There we are. Is this you? Voron V0 with 144 millimeters of X. There you go. Thank you. Sorry we took the long way around there. But what do we have here? Is there anything? No pictures. I want to see a picture. Well, if anybody's interested, there's all the links. Where are we at? Let's go back to pulling this thing apart. I think this will come out of here now. No, it will not. We gotta pull the whole thing out. That's me, that's the old Pandora frame, but some concept with complete design. Can I show the video? Let's go here. Let's see what comes across. Let's see. Is there anything here that shows like the front view? Oh. Is this all just top view stuff? I want to see. Yeah, this is all just top view stuff. So, and it's really not happy with my computer. Yeah, not a lot is shown there, but it sounds like there might be more shown later, huh? No worries, Mastermind. Okay, back to this. We are going to pull the whole enclosure. Just gonna move this way and pull this screw here so we can pull the power supply all the way out and get to my little multiple adapters. So you see here, in order to fit the USB cable in here, I'm running multiple, or an extra 90-degree adapter. It worked. It worked. It was fine. Seems like a cool mod for the V0. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm going to probably need those because I'm going to put this power supply back in here in the new enclosure. So this thing, we're not going to reuse any of this. So I'm just going to leave all this together. I'll probably reuse this in another project. Now, let's see what we need to do to get this all together. So back to here. So how does this fit? Let's move this temporarily. Go to our overhead view. Check Discord messages again when you have a free moment. A couple of pics from the CAD for me. Oh, awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Here, this will be good. I like this. I like this. Let's go back here. Visuals. There we go. Now everybody can see what we're talking about. I like it. I like the design. Direct. So the bed's probably light enough that it's not a problem for this to be direct, right? It's probably light enough. I like it. That's inspired by, but it's a completely new design, it looks like, right? Let's see, what was the other picture? Here's the other picture. Ooh, what's this? What's this back here? This little piece. Toolhead goes past the bed, which is nice. Completely scratch build. Nice. Okay. Back to this. So some changes I made, if you want to compare, some changes I made on the, here, let's move this up. On the enclosure here is I made it longer this way so I could move the controller to the left there so I could still see all of the connectors here when the power supply was in place. Oh, cable management thing is what that was? I need to redo it, kind of hard to work with. Okay. Jack Black, can you send me a copy of your switchwire configs, please? What are you looking for, Jack? And feel free to message me on Discord if you're looking for something specific, and I'll do what I can. Anyway, I moved the whole controller, I think it's 10 millimeters over, so bump this out by 10 millimeters. You see this is flat on this side. Bump this out by 10 millimeters so I can get to all these plugs with the power supply in place. And then the other thing is I made the whole thing about that much deeper so that I had room for the power supply or the power inlet that ends up going right here, and making sure I don't run into anything in here. Without that extra, what is it, 10 millimeters, it got a little close for me. So that's the comparison difference. And then I added some vent holes over here just because I had the space. They're not there. So I added them to match this side. I don't know where exactly I should put the USB. Maybe I can put the USB to CAN adapter up here. I don't know. But for the rest of the stuff, let's start putting let's see what other pain points we may have. No worry, Master. This is really just a it's just a fun do whatever type stream, right? So no problem. Why is that not lining up? Okay, that goes there. That's on. Then we can put it back in the printer and see where we're at. Where is a... Here. Do a little dusting while we're here. There we go. Now, let's get this out of the way. There. What are we at? 11:30. Hour and a half. We will probably get to some Enderwire content as well today then. There's only so far that I have set and available for this. You can definitely see the VK roots and the legacy. Absolutely. Big time. So this little extra piece here, I don't know if I've published it, but it's a little extra support piece that I made specifically because I wanted extra support for the power supply up here. But for some reason, it's not lining up. There we go. There's some room there. I made it adjustable. This has to be a record time of Charlie staying still or not wanting in or out for pets. Oh, he's a tired boy. It's a hang with Charlie stream, but Charlie doesn't have opposable thumbs to run Stream Deck, so Steve gets to play producer. Yes. Okay. Where are we at here? Let's just move this stuff in here. How is accessibility to all of this? That's looking good. Got access to everything in here. I can plug things in. When this goes on here, there's room for the fan. You have it on your legacy, so I did. Okay, good. Jack, on the Voron Discord, I am the Steve with a red name. Just Steve. If you're on the Voron Discord and you look in the members list, it'll be near the top with a red name. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to check is if we look at the side here, can I get my SD cards in here? And let's just grab a dummy SD card. So that goes there. Now that sticks out a lot. I'm not pleased with that. I don't know what to do about that, and I don't know that that card has to stay in there. If it does, then that's probably a problem, because that's going to be very easy to knock, and I may want to do like some other like protector here or something to keep that. Maybe I'll do a piece here that just kind of protects that from being knocked into. Where is... So that goes in, but it sticks out a lot. And let's grab a regular SD card. Let's see how that does. Well, oh, why is that not plugging in very well? Are you saying Charlie's a big boss? Charlie's always been the big boss. That's got to be what you're talking about. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Get a little better view. There we go. That's in. That sticks out a bit. I don't know if there's any way around that, so I may print something that like bolts to the side here and just kind of helps protect those from getting hit. So, but they do plug in, which is good. It's a tight fit, but it goes in. You can get SD and micro SD extension cables. Yeah, but it doesn't, I don't think it makes sense. I'm just gonna print a little plate here that just goes over and just keeps me from knocking into that when I'm loading up. Wherever I end up putting, I may not even need to put the spool over here anymore. Depends on where I want to put the spool holder. I might put it up here. Okay, let's pull those out. That works. What other pain points on this? Everything's out of the way. It's not too deep. It's not going to get in the way. It's sturdy. Yeah, I will definitely model something that's going to protect those cards. And it may just simply be a plate here that just kind of wraps around and just keeps me from knocking into them casually. Okay, I can't really get any further on this. The enclosure is 90% there. I'm going to fix the location of that hole, and I'm going to add some wire management, and I'm going to do some thoughts on where to put the here, maybe we can get a look here. Some thoughts. Nope, I can't get in there deep enough on where to put the the CAN adapter in there. Yep, but I can't get a good view on that. Jack Black, the Voron Discord server. Voron Discord server. I mean, if you really want, here, this works too. Let me figure out what it is. Why doesn't that come up? Give me a second. Ah, what? Oh, apparently in streamer mode, I can't get to... Oh, can I? I can't get to what I want to get to. I can't get to what I want to get to. I could disable it, but I don't want to. Um, 5732. Okay, here we go. I found it. I'm looking at my other computer. 32. There you go. That's my Discord ID. That'll get you there. And I can, like I said, I don't mind sharing as much as I can. M4P, CAN tool headboard. We'll continue on this. If it lines up, maybe we'll actually do some wiring and actual stuff on another stream or member stream, but this was just kind of prep. So let me move this. Hey, Joker Nut, let's play with the Enderwire. I think I've gone as far as I can on the legacy today. So let's move this out of the way and let's play with the Enderwire now. Enderwire. Working great. About 50 or 60 hours of printing on it. I've got a little USB cable there I was using for input shaping. Let's power it up and see where we're at. And just clean this off, just kind of mostly dusting it, but switching gears to Enderwire. Let's power. Something I want to check out here. It's powering up. It prints well. It prints reasonably fast, even with the Creality stepper still on here. It's probably not as quiet as it could be. But I'm pleased. Switching to Switchwire, yes. What's not working right now is my stealth burner LED for some reason. And I didn't really realize this until recently. It didn't occur to me that it wasn't working. So I want to figure out why. Everything else is working. We've got display now. If you remember, the problem with the display before and the problems I had where I burned the SD card is I was using this little display adapter, but this is made for the mini SKR Mini E3 V2. And I have a V3 in here and it takes a unique adapter made for the V3. And that was the whole problem. Once I plugged that in, this worked fine. Does the motor cable on the left run into the cable chain on the Enderwire? On the left, no. So this has plenty of room there. See that? Plenty of room for the cable. There's a good, I mean, I can put my finger in between here without flexing that cable out of the way, really. So I don't know if it will come through if we home this, if the sound will come through or not. Hey, Killer Prince. But there's a little bit. It's not really loud. It's just a little louder than I think it would be otherwise. Oh, nice. Not the same on the Ultra Waffle conversion. Yeah, there's plenty of room for the cable here on this. That blue color looks exactly the same as the accent color on my Trident. This is Sparta 3D Sparkle Sky Blue ABS. And since this printer is going to my friend, I may print one of my upcoming projects with this because I really like it. So, Stealth Burner LED is not working. Let's figure out why. So let's shut it down. And we can go back here and what did I call this? Enderwire. Let's log in. And we can look at history. What do I have? Okay, 46 hours of print time I have on it. Let's go ahead and let's do a couple of things here before we shut it down. Unfortunately, Creality steppers are trash. They're working fine for this though. The idea, I wanted to see how well they would actually run, and I haven't gotten any skip steps. They don't get too hot. They're working. They may not be great, but they're working. If we go to the machine and go to the printer config, stepper X, I'm running half an amp, 0.5 amps on X, and I'm running a little higher, I think, on Y, because I have the bigger stepper back there. I'm running that at 0.65. That used to be the extruder stepper. So I'm using what used to be the extruder stepper on Y, and then the X and Z steppers as X and Z on that. Now Z, I'm running also half an amp. I'm still having a little Z binding on mine. I can't eliminate, but with Z hop off, it prints fine. I've done 6 trains for Toys R Tots so far and I have a bunch of other stuff. Nice. Little Z binding. So Z binding on any switch wire or Ender clone or whatever, or conversion, is very dependent on these vertical extrusions being exactly parallel. If you have any deviation to that, then you will get binding at some point in your travel. So you can adjust that by loosening the top screws and shifting things and making sure you're square. But you may have to loosen the bolts on the back of these Z mounts so that those can shift as well as you're adjusting this. My Soval S01 Creality base came with only 32 millimeter NEMA 17 on X and Y and 40 millimeters on the extruder. These are, do I have my ruler around here? The bodies on these are about 32 millimeters on the X and Z and about 40 millimeters on the Y. Spending the day watching you and converting one of the Mercury ones to a drop effect hot end. Nice. I'm running the drop effect on my purple Trident right now. Scott, have you ran the drop effect yet? Have you ran it on anything? Okay, back to here. What I wanted to get in here for also is to check before we get into a hardware, why the hardware isn't working for the Stealth Burner LEDs. I wanted to check what pin I have set up. Did you code the LED to change as it warms up to temp? No, it's just turned on. It's just a basic config. There's nothing special about it. Wherever I put we have lights. NeoPixel. Oh, maybe we didn't even configure it. Maybe that's what the problem is. I have an output pin for lights for some reason. No, just now installing it. Okay. It prints pretty well. I don't have any complaints. Make sure that the kinematic setup there is snug, because mine did loosen up after some prints. Then I had to tighten it. And if you use the hardened nozzle, it requires a significant delta in temperature. I was measuring 25C. I had to increase it in order to get the same print as the plated nozzle. And I've talked to Fadus about that, the drop effect guys, and they're looking into it. Let me just make sure, what would this be? NeoPixel? I have the LCD. I don't think I actually configured it. I think that's probably the big problem here. So let's configure it. To configure it, let's just grab it. Let's just grab it from one of my other printers. Gotta go pick up my in-laws up at the airport, catch the rest of the stream via VOD later. See you, Luke. Let's see. I need to grab the config from another printer. Yes, I was rotating the wires and noticed everything barely hand tight. Yeah. So mine did loosen up. So if you snug it up beforehand, you might avoid having any trouble with that. So I'm grabbing my config, and I'm not showing it on camera because I can't. But I'll paste it in and we'll see it. I'm just grabbing the NeoPixel section off of another printer that I just can't, wherever that is. Oh, I can't do that. Where can I grab that? Maybe I can. Hold on. Be patient, please. Here we go. Okay, so I grabbed that from another printer. I'm gonna paste it in here, and I'm just gonna go, let's just go down here. It doesn't matter. So this is on the purple Trident with the SB2040. So now we need to change this RGB pin to whatever it is for the SKR Mini E3. So if we go to Big Tree Tech SKR Mini GitHub. Gotta go yeah, I was rotating the wires. Are you using 0.9 degree steppers for more resolution? I am not, but I like the idea of 0.9 degree steppers on a switch wire for that extra resolution. But these are 1.8s because they're just the Creality steppers. But you're right, Nuno, there probably isn't any real difference, but because they are direct, your step height is going to be slightly different. I mean, it's going to be half with a 1.8. Okay, let's go to the GitHub. This is the Mini E3. Let's go to hardware, and we're doing the V3. I don't know, they're 3.01. Let's go to the V3. And hardware, and we want the pin out. So let's go to the pin diagram. And we should have NeoPixel here, the NeoPixel port. Now I imagine I plugged into the NeoPixel port, so we're gonna pick PA8. So with that, we can go back to here, and we're gonna say PA8. And let's see if it just works. Let's save and restart. And see if that's all. Oh, it couldn't be uploaded. Oh, there, good. It couldn't be uploaded the first try. I had to try again. Hey, there we go. That's all it was. I never configured it. We got a lit up. Hey, Q. I use 0.9 degree steppers on my switch wire and it's really good. Yeah. Given a choice, I don't think a decent 0.9 degree stepper is probably what I would run on a switch wire. You may not actually see a difference, but whatever. I just never configured it. So, Keith, as far as I know, this works fine with the V3 board. Did I get an access point for the garage? Not yet. I'm probably waiting for some Black Friday sales, and then I'll purchase I'm gonna redo the network in here. So I have a PoE switch now that I'm gonna place somewhere in here, and then I'm gonna run an access point off of that, and I'm probably going to take here, let's move this out of the way. My little power jack here, this is 24 volt power that's turned on by this switch. I'm gonna redo this panel and have 2 power jacks, but then a Cat 6 cable jack, a network jack in there. So I have a little more flexibility at my workstation here. So switchwire is probably my next build once it's done building my 2.4. Awesome. I just finished 2 Enderwire builds for my brother and father's Christmas. Should I throw them into the deep end with Clipper or ease them in with Marlin? That's a good question. How well Marlin has Core XZ support, right? I would still, if you have the pies, I would do Clipper, but I was wondering if that might have been why the update on the Legacy was so slow. Oh, it could be. It definitely could be, Colin. I need to improve my network in here, and that'll do it. I'm just waiting to see if there's any Black Friday sales. Have you thought about a Unify network? I have. My network right now is an Amplify Alien is my main router. And so it was advised that an easy upgrade, an easy thing to set up would be to just buy a Ubiquiti Lite 6 access point and set that up. Actually don't use 0.9ers for the resolution. I use them to run silent without stealth shop and really low micro steps. Okay. For what it's worth, these will be their first 3D printers. Yeah, Mastermind, you could, I mean, I don't know. Is it easier to go to a web interface and be able to do stuff, or just use the SD card in Marlin? Let's shut this down and look on the bottom and see if there's anything to update under there. Shut down. Get you a dream machine. What's a dream machine? That sounds familiar. I kind of want to keep my Alien because it was expensive. Okay, so turned off. Let's unplug this. Let's see, I need to remove that USB cable anyway. I had it plugged in, like I said, because I was doing input shaper. Remove the bottom panel. Whew. Dream Machine is their Unified Dream Machine. Okay, so I had this little plug here because I was using a little Pico, Raspberry Pi Pico box for the input shaper controller. Let's see. So Keith, it looks like I did not use the little, I didn't even use the little additional power board on this. I have also unified stuff, 5 switches. Yeah, unified stuff is nice. I just have already spent a good deal. Sorry if it's already been asked tonight. Any update on V0.2? It's still in the progress of being polished up for release. So no updates on timeline, but it's progressing. That's the best update I can give you. Is it's progressing. But this was the setup. So this is the board that gave us trouble in the build streams. This is now the V3 specific version, and it appears that nothing else was damaged when that didn't work before. So Dream Machine is a router, firewall, NVR, cloud key, all in one. Yeah. So, but I'm not using that. I'm not using the little extra power board. I don't know if I should. I have it now. I can just pull it out of this other, and just pull it out of here. Just a little thing. Let's see if it should just plug right in. It might be a good idea. Oh, I can't do that because I snagged power. I snagged 24 volts for my probe right there. I can't plug that in right now. That's where I grabbed 24 volts for the probe. There wasn't anywhere else for me to grab it easily. So, but it works. So I don't think I need to. Hey, Chris. How is the, oh, I was going to say, how was the auto show? Saw a 2024 prototype WRX. So what is special about it? Is it a hybrid? I mean, what are they planning on doing in 2024? I guess 2024 is not very far from now. That's good, Steve. I was skeptical about the notes I was seeing that they would provide a power supply that couldn't run 3 NeoPixels. I'm running the Pi and the NeoPixels off of this, so I don't know how great of an idea that is, but it seems to be working right now. It is a Pi 02W. Oh, you're still there? Awesome. I've gone through different stages, but now have the Dream Machine, 3 Wi-Fi 6 access points and 1 AC mesh, and have no coverage issues. They're bringing back the hatchback. That is good. I had a 2008 STI, which was the hatchback version, and I really liked it. One last question, I'll shut up. Any chance you have the Pi Zero mount used in this Enderwire handy? Really like the extra support, probably not needed. Yeah, I do. I just sent it to someone not too long ago, so it's handy. If you message me asking about it on Discord, I can send it to you. Well, they've had the Impreza hatchback for a while. It's the WRX or STI that they got rid of it. Did I just power this thing on? Yeah, let's power it on. Let's power it on. So this is running an SKR Mini E3 V3 with a Pi Zero 2W powered off the Mini. And then the NeoPixels. So, did I do something, or is it just taking a while to boot up? Do we have any lights? There we go. It just took a while to boot up. Let's go ahead and home all again. Careful when torquing down on that pie mount. Snap my first one, yeah. Finishing lunch, then to Porsche, haul, and test drives. Are they letting you test drive stuff there? The design switch wire is based off at 3 times the res in the Z, so rep firmware, I tried to get Duet to run on my switch wire, just would not work. You couldn't get Duet? Okay. I know Duet supports Core XZ. What do we want to do? We can start a print. Let's start a print. What color do I want to print? I'm just going to print something that's already on the... I'm going to print something that's already on the SD card, I think. Let's see what's on there. G-code files. Or we can start something new. What do we want to print? Steve, I don't know if it came up already, but in the tap reveal, you said you were looking at what needed to be done to SwitchWire to make it tap compliant. Anything you can share? Nothing to share. It's just, I mean, the whole thing is reducing flex on that bed, right? So how to do that? It's just, there's things that I want to try. And it's, there's just some stuff I want to try for that. And it basically boils down to a bigger rail on Y. So, what do we want to print? I'm just gonna slice something new. Since it doesn't look like I have anything great here to print. I've got some stuff for the buggy, but start printing Pandora's box parts. In PLA, this is a PLA printer. Let's go out to printables. I know, I said I'll shut up, but I couldn't help myself. I entered a printables contest. I entered the E3D Buggy Mods contest. I haven't done that before. And I had an idea that took about 20 minutes to model, so I threw it up here. But it's E3D Buggy Mods. We can print my model from here. But there's a lot of things people, I entered when there were like 10 things out there. Lots of cool remixes and accessories, but I did, let's go down here. I did just a little Revo trailer. It's way back here. There we go. I did a little Revo trailer. So let's download, let's print the Revo trailer. It won't take very long, and that's probably a good thing. What is TAP? TAP is a direct nozzle probing solution, spearheaded by Bad Noob in the Voron team. Friendly, flexible Fatter-Pillar. Where is that? Is anyone on the Voron team running an LGX extruder with TAP? I don't know. There is no low poly Charlie. We need someone to model. We need someone to model a Charlie. Then I'll print a Charlie. Okay, so let's bring up Prusa Slicer. Charlie is out. Prusa Slicer, and what do we have? Did I have a... profile for this? I thought I had a profile. I did not have an Enderwire profile? I do not. Doc ran LGXs with tap? Okay. I thought I had a profile set up on this printer. On this computer. I got switchwire stuff. Let me check my other computer real quick. Let me see if I had a profile I can export. No. What was I doing to print? I'm not sure if you ever tried that adaptive. I have not. I intend to, but I haven't had time. There's so many things out there that I don't have time to look at because I'm working on other things. I need a 3D scanner to model Charlie. Here we go. There's a low poly sleeping cat on things, but not very Charlie-like. We've said Charlie too many times. I wanted to start a print, but let's see if we can cobble together a... Let's turn that off. Cobble together a profile. I thought I had something here I thought I had something here I was printing with. Okay, let's look at the printer settings. Max print height. Yeah, that's not correct. This is for an actual switch wire. Let's do this. Configuration wizard. Sure, install. I am not set up for this. Well, let's see what happens. Let's just grab a Creality. I don't want those. I want a Creality. Let's just do an Ender 3 with a 0.4 nozzle. Might as well do a Pro, huh? Charlie's up and out. He's gonna want to go out here in a second. Yep, he's scratching now. Let's finish. Let me let Charlie out real quick. I'm puzzled because I printed to this. I don't know where I generated the G code. It should have been here. It should have been listed. I would have saved the info. Let's just go a generic PLA. Let's see what happens. Add a model. We're gonna do the trailer. And let's look at what the settings are. 0.2 millimeters layer heights. We only need a couple of parameters. Sure. Infill's fine. Let's go to speed. Parameters. Let's go 100. Small parameters. Let's go 60. Externals. Here, let's go 80. Infill. 120. Let's go high infill. Solid infill, 100. Top solid infill, 100. And none of that matters. Let's go 250 travel speed. I'm not doing anything specific here. I'm just guessing what this will do, and it'll be fine. Accelerations. Leave all those. What is our default on here? Let's go to the, oops. What is, no, not that one. I want this one. What do I have set here for accelerations? 6,000. That seems reasonable. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it then. Back here, the volumetric flow rate can be done over here, right? I don't think we'll hit, on this print, we're not gonna hit anywhere near 11 anyway, even with these speeds for sure. Advanced, we'll just leave all this. I'm not gonna go through and change all those to 0.4. We just wanna get a print going, right? If I go to printer settings, and all of this is probably fine, sure. But the extruder, 5 millimeters of retract is way too much. So we're gonna put like 0.8 millimeters. This is not gonna be a tuned profile. We're just getting a printout. Default Excel was 0. Oh, default. 6,000, thank you. We'll go there. Bridges, there are no bridges in this. There are no bridges in this model. And if I go to printer settings and set up a printer, we're gonna say Enderwire. And that's fine. Enderwire.local. Test it. Was correct. Say okay. Keep. Sure. Now we should be able to slice this and send it to the printer. We don't need no bridges. Maybe an idea for a bit of a future stream, input shaper on a bed slinger. That's not a bad idea. So what I did for this is I attached it to the tool head and ran X, and then I used just some VHB tape to attach it to the bed and ran Y. And it seems to have been okay. I'm letting Charlie in. Oh, I was gonna let him in. I thought he was scratching. Rubber feet just arrived for my 2.4. There's 8. I think the universe is telling me I need a trident. Yes, that's all the parts you need to justify another printer. Where am I? Let's go to the dashboard and preheat this thing. Let's put some filament in it. So let's just go 210 there. I don't know what it's probably 60 for the, let's see what that profile had for the bed temperature. $60, yep. We're just gonna go for it. We just want a print done, right? You can print a holder for ADXL and not remove it from the bed, just screw ADXL in for testing. I could. Maybe mount it to one of the bed screws or something. I found a mount you print directly on the bed and attach to. I don't know how well I would trust that to work, Kyle. That you print it and then attach the ADXL. I have heated up the printer and we're just gonna grab some Jesse Brad's orange because this is my very favorite orange. I'm just gonna manually feed this. Doop. Feed and purge, manual feed and purge. There we go. I already cleaned the bed earlier. I have an ADXL mount I print to the bed and then attach the ADXL to it. Okay, if it works, great. That sounds like a great idea. How do you attach the ADXL to it? Do you screw it in? Hey Chris, hey KB3D. Thanks for being here. We're just messing around now. We played with Legacy, got some mock-up progress on it, and now I didn't have the stealth burner LED working on here. I had never configured it. So now we're just gonna do a print to kind of finish off the stream and just kind of chat. Anything you guys want to chat about. It doesn't have to be about what we worked on today. And it doesn't come loose as you're tightening the screws to mount it. Okay. Let me lower that temperature back down. 150 sounds about right. Good enough. I guess I could have an idea. What does this default profile do for like starting the print and purge line and everything? It does stuff. We'll see. Oh, does it do a bed mesh calibrate? That's what I want to know. And there's Charlie. Now he wants in. I want it to do a bed calibrate. So home all axes, and then it moves there. Let's just do a bed mesh calibrate there. And then we will slice it and send it over. See what happens. I don't actually use a print start macro, Kyle. I do it all in the slicer. That may not be the best way to do it, but you don't need a print start macro in Clipper. I just do it all in the slicer. Okay. Let's just start it and see what happens. It should do everything. Let's find out. Print. That's something I actually talked to Kevin about a little bit at Earth. Is I see some people get caught up on how complicated they think Clipper is, and one of those things I've actually seen comment on is, what do I do in a print start macro? And it's like, you don't really need one. Just do what you normally do in a slicer. That takes a whole layer of things away from a new user. What is this doing? I have no idea what it's doing. It's awfully high right now. Let's see what happens. It's strange to see an Ender move that fast in Z. Yeah, here comes Charlie. That's a hotbed, Charlie. I'm gonna... It is heating up the nozzle. It should start a print here in a second. I'm just gonna hold Charlie. Grab a booger. Nozzle lights are not on, no. I didn't set anything. I just wanted to make the NeoPixel work. Okay, it's doing a purge line. Let's go here and tune the offset if I need to. Yes, Charlie, that's a printer. I don't know that I need to. I think it's okay. It's not as squished as it could be, but it's sticking. And my print start macro conditional, so it works the same on all of my machines. Yeah. There are some powerful things you can do in a print start macro. My point is that it's an additional layer of things you need to worry about as a new user to Clipper. You don't need to worry about it. It ran a mesh, Sanity. It ran a mesh right at the beginning. Yeah. He's content. This is where he wants to be lately. He wants to be laying on my shoulder. Hey, Jeff H. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's a really good first layer. I don't think I would change it at all. Trying to get multiple instances of Clipper running on a Debian box. Pi shortage is so bad. Yeah. Picked up a refurb i5 with 8 gigs of RAM for 90 bucks. Nice. Charlie is a dog disguised as a cat with a little bit of parrot in him, apparently. Yes, nozzle lights would help. This is not, oh, it's not up to date with the LED stuff that's in mainsail now. I have 8 running on something close. Oh, I got a loud part cooling fan. I may want to change that before I give it to my friend. Yeah, the nozzle lights are on, just not with a set color. Can I send, what command can I send to turn those? Can someone look that up real quick or send it, give me a command to, that's just lights. That's not what I want. Is there a command I can send to set those nozzle lights to full bright? Yeah, see, he's content. I don't have any of the macros set up. I would have to send the full, I don't have the stealth burner config here. I don't have the full config. I would just need to send the command to light those up. I may be able to get that. Let me see. I notice you're using a Pi 02 and the Enderwire works okay. Yeah, it's the 2. It's the 02W. I am looking something up here. Let's see, I've got a... Can I do this? No, that's not gonna work, darn it. I was trying to grab the command from another computer config. Go to the UI interface and miscellaneous. Status LED. I do have a... Oh, do I have these? Oh no, that's the wrong, that's the wrong printer. Set LED name value, the value you want. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this. Yeah, the NeoPixels are defined, but I need to set the ID and I know I've got it set up on others. I just never set up all the macros on here or the config. I just found it and did it in 10 seconds. It's fast. Right, but I would have to, I want to do it live. Can I just turn them on right now with a command? Okay, let's try that. Set. LED. LED equals, what was the name on this thing? Status LED. Let's see if that works. There we go. Thanks, Kyle. That worked. It's awfully bright, though. Here, let's turn that down and see if it doesn't wash out quite as much. There we go. Thank you. That helped. the UI setup. Yeah, it's not up to date. I'm running mainsail version 2.3.1 on this. Oh boy. Oh. Yeah, the nozzle LEDs are really nice, especially on a printer with a relatively small heater block. Like a Dragon is just too big, it gets in the way. But a Revo or this isn't too bad either. While we're here, this is the model we're printing. But like I said, I'm genuinely pleased with how this is printing. It'll be a very nice printer for my friend to use. Few little polish things I need to do, like set up all the LEDs, and probably change that part cooling fan because it was loud when it started. But other than that, I'm really pleased with it. Oh, my back's starting to bug me. So what else do you guys want to chat about? Tomorrow is going to be a fun stream. We're going to do tap. We're taking a little break from Tridex just because I need more prep time. So I'm going to buy a Bamboo Lab hot end to try on my stealth printer. I saw someone made a mount for it. It's quite cheap. How much do they charge for that? What do they charge for that hot end? Heard any rumors about a legacy kit? Just mumblings, but nothing concrete. Oh, Panzerketten got a Trident serial video posted. We're a bit behind on those, so just be patient, please. Is tap going to be cleared? I need to get 50mm rails. I don't know when everything is going into place. We're just gonna build one on stream tomorrow just to go through it. 32 euros for the hot end kit, including fan. Wow. And a hardened steel nozzle. That's really cheap. Putting the skirts and bottom panel on a V2 to get it ready for a serial. Awesome. Bottom panel required. Would you be up for promoting my adaptive mesh thing with tap? It has point fuzzing to spread out possible wear or polishing marks. Probably not in the first video, Kyle, but I'm definitely up for trying it and demonstrating how to set it up on a stream. Just not by tomorrow. But for sure, it's something that I know I've heard is really cool and really useful. I just haven't had a chance to get in there. Is there a manual for tap available? Yes, there's a draft, and we'll be using the draft of the manual in the stream tomorrow. We'll be ready when it does. Yep. see what this thing looks like. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I have 2.4 inch switch wire and V0 and no motivation to do all the videoing work to get serials. It doesn't take much. Although I say that, but I pretty much have, what do I have? 12 or 13 Vorons and probably 7 of them are serial. I like to build but no to video edit. I get that. I need to get more into the video editing though. I have some videos I want to do. I just got to get past my mental block of working on the videos. Here, is that better? Is that better, Colin? He might have been on the microphone. I did go a little overboard with the serial video, but it was fun. Yeah, you can have a lot of fun with those. I'm about to set him down because he's kind of bugging my back. Posted my Trident serial video a few weeks ago. There you go, Charlie. You're gonna come over here and you're gonna lay down on your pillow. Oh. Oh. If he settles down, I'll put the camera over there. I'm never gonna get this Trident finished. Got CAN bus working last week. Now I want to see how tap works. I did CAN bus for the first time, kind of prepping for Tridex. I installed it on the purple Trident, and that was not a bad process. I followed a guide out there for the Mellow SB2040 by Polar Ted and gave some feedback on it, and it was no drama. It was no drama getting that set up. So Dad back. Let's see here. There we go. What do we got? How much time is this? It's 35% done, 20 minutes in. That's not bad. Some have had the wrath of CAN. I was expecting it to be a lot more difficult than it was. Everything pretty much, almost just worked. And then I did a 9-hour print right after. I think that night or the next day. My son is here too. How old's your son, Chris? It was easy for me. Wire management was my bug for the tool head. I went ahead and ran, because I already had chains on this printer, I just ran the wires through the chains. Wire management for the Tridex is going to be interesting because I haven't quite figured out exactly how I want to do that. My plan for the filament guide tubes and stuff isn't going to work, so I'm going to go to a more traditional, just ports in the back setup. Anybody recommend a quiet 6020 24 volt fan? 6020. Is that the side fans, the axial fans? He's 4 in December. He loves Charlie. Awesome. I've mostly just used the GDS time fans for those, Keith, and they get loud after a while, and I just replace them. What wires gauge would you recommend for CAN? The signal wires, you don't need any real high gauge wire or low gauge wire. I think it's like 26 or 28 gauge that comes with the mellow boards. And then it comes with 18 gauge power wires. I think you could get away with 20 gauge power wires on a tool head board. Depending on your heater. Depending on your heater. I'm running the mellow on there, and it's with 18 gauge power wires. Hey John, I've been to Burbank Airport many times. That's one of those airports that you still go out on the tarmac and climb the stairs to get into the planes. This is the worst benchy I've ever seen. I use 4x22 gauge for my CAN setup. It's 4 conductor twist rated cable for my guess. Yeah, that's fine. It's just you don't need the signal wires to be heavy gauge. Can I ask how your electric screwdriver compares to Nero's? I have no idea. All I have is mine. I have the ES15. Now, the ES126, this is made by Mini Wave or whatever it is. These are the originals. I think the 126 is a clone, isn't it? But I have no idea how it compares. I've never had a 126. I just had the 15. What CAN hat did you use with which board? The one I set up was the Big Tree Tech U2C CAN or adapter board, and then the Mellow SB 2040 tool head board. On the Legacy that we worked on earlier, I'm planning on, it's actually arriving today. I have another Big Tree Tech U2C adapter, and then I'll be using the EBB36 tool head board. And on the Tridex, I'm going all Mellow because I wanted to try all their boards. So I have the Mellow U2C, but Mellow says UTOC, where Big Tree Tech is U number 2C. But I have the Mellow Fly Super 8 controller, the Mellow U2C adapter, and then the SB 2040s ×2 for the tool heads. Which I guess table did you get? ES126 does not have impact function. The impact function is actually kind of nice too. It works. Bigger battery in the ES15. Okay. I have no real complaints. I just don't remember to use it as often as you guys want me to. Any fancy tools you recommend this week? Oh, so something else that's going to arrive today. And if anybody's interested, not a recommendation because I haven't tried it, but the big knock on the engineer strippers, or crimpers, where I use the iWis 2820Ms, and this is what I've used for all my builds. I saw the Engineer PA09s were only $35 on Amazon right now. So I bought a set so I can directly compare them now. that's coming. And I ended up buying the Knipex automatic wire strippers because I wanted to try these. I talked to these guys at SEMA, and these are the ones they recommended for a 26 gauge PTFE wire. And do I have any handy? Where is some wire? I probably have some somewhere. That's not PTFE. Where did I put my... So these, I probably want to be able to see. This isn't PTFE, but these just go in here. And it does not seem to mark, at least noticeably, the insulation. It seems to work pretty well. So I'm hoping these will help when I'm in a tight spot and I don't want to pull hard on the strippers and accidentally hit something. So I don't know if that's focusing or not because I got the wrong glasses on. Do those can tool headboards have an accelerometer like the Hoovids? Brett, the one it does, and I used it to tune input shaper on the Purple Trident. So I have not actually used this. I just got it the other day. I've played around like I just did, but I haven't tried using it in a build yet. Wonder how they'll cope with fiber insulation. Do I have something with fiber insulation? Let's see. This is heavy gauge fiber insulation here. Not. It's actually not stripping. I mean, it took a couple of times to even get in past the fiber. It did not. On that one, it failed. That failed. Jack Black, which control board on which printer? So far, PTFE, it seems to grab fine and strip fine. This is the first I tried fiber, and I would call that a fail. It was a complete fail. And this is large gauge. I can't imagine it doing better on the small gauge stuff. See you, John. What's the Knipex model number? 1262-180. 1262-180. It's right there below the name. These don't do too bad for fiber. It's just a manual, and I think it's more that they're fresh and they're sharp. So these are the Engineer PA06. This is my go-to for most stripping right now. Yeah, like Thomas said. Just something with a sharp edge is going to be your best bet of the proper gauge size. I was excited to see the PA09s. They were like $10 cheaper than I've ever seen them before. So, and last I checked, they were still in that price range. But at that price, I could justify just buying them to try them, so I can give you guys a better comparison to what my normal is. The bots can't show up, Keith. They would have to be a member. And if a bot's going to become a member to come in and post, I'll give them a post. I guess the automatic strippers are set up for normal solid installation. Yeah. I guess something, sounds like something might be being delivered right now. Big truck out front. Don't use us as your excuse for tool acquisition. Well, for that, honestly, the iWis, these iWises have been, I have no complaints. They have worked everything I've wanted. I'm curious to see if I actually like the PA09s better or not. Got your engineer solder sucker this week? Nice. What are we at? 75%? This shouldn't be too long. What else do I have? I think that's the big stuff. I wonder if my Amazon stuff was delivered or not. Let me check. Amazon. Nope. Nope, it's still out for delivery. PA09s are still 40 pounds UK. You'd better not prefer the engineer ones. I got the iWis ones last week. Oh, that's something we can talk about. So last Sunday's stream, I talked about needing a DuPont crimper, right? So on the same topic of crimping, there is a I did a little research afterwards, and there is a very specific thing about crimping DuPonts. And some of you will know this, but this will be good information, I think, in general. Let me find a DuPont crimp, or a DuPont terminal. See if we can get a view on this. Okay, so maybe the top cam might be best for this. So if you look at, if we can get a focus here. I may not be able to get a focus. Okay, try this cam. There we go. You see the insulation part, how it's two triangle shapes and they're kind of opposed to each other, kind of off to the sides. On most like JST and stuff crimpers, the crimper is shaped to take those tabs and curl them in on the wire like this, right? It curls it in and then grabs your wire, and it also does that on the insulation. For these DuPont connectors, you do the curl in for the conductor, but for the insulation, you need to wrap it around in a circle and overlap those in a circle like this. So you need to find a crimper that has a circular profile. And there is an iWis, it's the P025 or something 025 that you can get off AliExpress or whatever, but there's a few others you can find. But what you're looking for is that circular crimper. Yes, exactly, Panzerkatten. It should wrap around it rather than dig in. So I have a friend who had a pair of Hosen, which are made in Japan, crimpers that have that round profile that they're sending to me to try. But there are a few others on like Amazon or whatever. If we go to we go here and we go, let's just go iWis, because there's an iWis one that seems to work okay. And actually, I'm going to change my search here. I'm going to search for iWis DuPont. Hey, Poity, what was the SN025? Thank you. SN025 is a great, it's supposed to be a great crimper for it. SN025. And if we look at this and look at the jaws, maybe you're going to look for one, see if this shows any info on that. This doesn't really, but it needs a round profile. There we are. You can see in the insulation side, it's round. It doesn't have this. You see the curls in on the, where it said, on the parts that say 2.67 and 3.46. But then on the other side, it doesn't curl in. There is another, these aren't immediately available in the US, but they may be better available elsewhere. There's another one that has, here, these. And we'll be able to see this even better. You see that 1.6, that, what is that, theta? Or diameter 1.6, that's the round insulation crimp. And same at the bottom, that diameter 2.2. Yeah, this is the one Poity got. The 1442L. The one I got, or I have on the way, Hosen crimper. Let's do that. I have this one on the way, which is basically the iWis is a clone of this one. It's got the same 2.2 and 1.6 diameter. I'm not getting these new. I'm getting them from a friend. So anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I asked a question about it, and that prompted a little bit of research afterwards and finding out that those DuPont ones want to be wrapped around rather than tucked in. You're not a fan, Poity? I thought you had said you liked the ones you got okay. Using them more, you're not really a big fan? Okay. Well, that's good to know. I'll let you know what I think of the Hosens. If you did a search, let's see if we can find one. Or do you know the model of that other one we found, the cheap ones? Oops. If we search for DuPont crimper, and you start looking at any of these that say they're for DuPonts, if you click on them, you can usually tell in the pictures if they've got a round profile or not. But there was one we found that had a round. Most of them are like the regular JST style. So anyway. I'll let you know how the Hosens work. I've got my bin of crimpers. that's where I reach to get all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so the whole reason I'm interested in DuPonts is the plan. I'm going to be checking out the Recore controller board. So that should come up as a controller I use on a future build. So Recore by default uses DuPont connectors going into from the side on the board. I have crimpers that I use for DB9, DB25 that also crimp the DuPont correctly. Don't remember brand, but they were expensive, yeah. This is almost done. Last couple of layers. Has anybody heard of the Recore board? It's another, I talked, the person who created it was at Earth, and I talked to them, and it's another board with the integrated Pi alternative in it. 6 integrated 2209s? I'll cover it more when it comes in. See you, Kelvin. See you tomorrow. Almost done. That looks pretty darn good for the level of tuning you saw me do. People that did replicate. What is replicate? Here, let's see here. Recore 3D control board. Let's see if I can bring up a... No, that's not what I want. Is there a picture here? Oh, here we go. So this is Recore. So for those that want to follow along at home, Replicate was a ramps alternative. So 3D printer control board running Linux. It is specifically tailored to be compatible with Clipper and Octoprint. The main features are a all-winner A64 SoC, yada, yada, yada. But it looks like this. So it's a pretty small board, right? It's got a pretty small footprint. But all the connectors are along the sides, coming in from the side. And just all the information here. But that's the board. That's the board right there. So mine should be arriving sometime this week. And then I'll do some checking out on it, and then we'll use it if it makes sense in an upcoming build. There we go. Look at that. That's not bad. Not bad. Was this a board that also had some little daughter boards too? You can add extra steppers. If you look here, there's 2 headers here. This allows you to add up to 2 more stepper drivers for a total of 8. So I don't know what other options there are. So yeah, that, where's the, Yeah, that's the bad one. The idea is it's just a little trailer for the, just a little static trailer for the E3D buggy. I sent you a pic on Discord comparing it to a Pi if you want to show on stream. Yeah, let me check that. Oh, size-wise, that is a good, let's see. There we go. Size compared to a Pi. So it's a pretty small footprint. Steve, can I shout someone out? Sure. Who are we shouting out? Who are we shouting out? Scott Korn. Welcome, Scott. That is a lot of DuPonts to crimp. Now you know why I wanted a good crimper for DuPonts, or at least as best as we could. Check out his build series on the V2. Is it on YouTube, or do I know Scott and not recognizing the name? What is your channel name, Scott? Let's check it out on the way out of here. We're gonna wind down here, but what do we got here? Let's go to YouTube. And what am I searching for? Scott Korn, okay. Yep, that looks like you. Looks like it matches your... Oh, I have not seen this. This has not come up in my suggestions. This has not come up in my suggestions. Now, I'm not logged in here. I don't log in with this browser, but I'll leave this window open. I'll check the stuff out later. So, looks like you have a Voron 2.4 build, step by step. Oh, nice. I will check that out. I will check that out. It's a good series. Okay. This little half-hour segments, it looks like. Very nice. Yeah. If anybody else, self-source, nice. Time for a fast speedboat print to end the stream. Oh, why didn't that? There we go. There's Scott's channel link. I don't know what the, well, what would we set? What would we set to do a fast speedboat? Do I even have a benchy on here? Let's go 3D benchy. Oops. Let's grab the one from Prusa. Download. What am I getting myself into? What values should we be setting? Our acceleration, it's not going to be way up there, but we can set a bunch of other values pretty high. It's not gonna finish, but if we did this, And let's go. So we are, this is not a Revo. What's the max flow rate on this? What is this hot end? I keep forgetting. It's the one I got from Sanity. What do we want to set, like crazy high speeds here? They're not crazy high. They're not going to be crazy high. Oops. Where should I go with these? If you Edge of 3D Scott, what are we going? If we're gonna do this, what should my numbers here be that we think might not skip steps on here? Oh. YOLO, 20,000 accelerations, 300 millimeters per second. Let's go. I don't know what it'll actually do. I mean, if we skip steps, it's a good end to the stream, right? Oops. 300 all the way through. 300. Let's go 10,000, because I think let's keep it somewhat reasonable. Well, let's see what the volumetric flow rate says it's going to be. We're limited to 15, but let's see if it even hits that. Let's go here and slice. I have no idea where the machine has its limits either, but if we're gonna have fun here, let's do it. Volumetric flow. We are not hitting even 15 on anything here. And much of that is quite a bit less. From what? What's causing that? It's a small print. I know, Colin. Thank you, though. That was my next thing, was to go in here and change this to... Let's just see what it does. This will be a good end. Save and restart. What does it say? It still says it's going to be an hour and 35 minutes. What is limiting that? What's causing us to have some dark blue in here? We have a 15 millimeters here, but we're not hitting that anywhere. Put cooling time. Is this it right here? Slow down if layer print time. Okay, so let's disable that. Does that disable it? Is it both of these? Does that disable it? Slice now. Oh, that goes all the way up to 16 cubic millimeters per second. Well, that maxes out the 15 or whatever. That maxes it out. Let's just see what happens, huh? That's all the way up at 16. I don't know what this... I'm so terrible with this name. I can never remember it. It's the one from the... it's a Czech company, right? Send it. We're going to send it. Fan speed should already be maxed, right? Let's make sure. Yeah, fan speed is already max. You need to change max print speed. That's set to 100. Where is that? Oh. Okay. It is the Raptor. Thank you. Terrible with that name for some reason. I can never remember it. It still says an hour and 15 minutes. Where else am I? Let's send it. It's already running. This is here. G-code files, 3D Benchy, print. Wow. That mesh is going to be faulty because I'm doing the mesh before it's fully heated up. Perimeter number, infill pattern, layer height. Oh, none of that is all correct, huh? We're just having fun. If I miss something, whatever. Let's see how it handles 300 millimeter per second speeds over whatever it can get to over the distance. Yeah. Not too worried about it. We're wrapping up. And I don't know what it's doing in this default start code. Whatever. Minimum layer time we turned off. So it should have been off and done. We are heating up. It's oozing, but our biggest weight is for the heat bed. See what happens. I'm getting hungry anyway, so it's getting close to time. We stretched this out to 3.5 hours. How are we doing on batteries? Oh, here it goes. Just grab that. Grab the boogers. First layer should be slow. As long as we get a good first layer, it looks good. Looks squished enough. I don't know what's going to be the better view once it actually starts going. Oh, the light's going. See what that looks like. It's a little extra squish. It's too squished right now, but I did the mesh with it. I did the mesh with it not up to temperature. So we're way too squished right now. I set my lights. They're at 0.5. And there goes that loud fan. And there is something slowing it down because this is second layer. It should be going much faster. Let's get through a few layers and then just call it. How are we doing? Up to 60 people. I think this is the most I've had for a member stream. Usually I'm in the mid 40s for the members only streams, so that's awesome. It might increase speed over the first few layers. Max speed. Is the max speed set in firmware? Let's see. Max velocity is set to 250. So it's lower than what I set in the slicer. What else did I miss in here? I'm sure there's things, plenty of things that I just missed, just trying to go through this quickly. Yeah, it's not going to go crazy fast. I don't think any of this is going to... what are we printing now? We're just... The suggestion was to try to throw an extra fast benchy at it, but I missed a setting in the slicer. It's not going. I missed a setting somewhere. As is tradition. I'll let this print finish. Machine limits. Is there... Where's the machine limits? Is that in printer settings? Yeah, that's where it is. All the machine limits are set, Christian. Good call. So, we're not going to see anything special here. You're right. The machine limits are set. I didn't see those settings. What I will do is I'm going to cancel this after... No, I'll let this finish. Once it's finished... I'm going to go in and adjust all of these and see if I can get some video of something. If I do, I'll post it. I'll get some video of it going what looks like ludicrous speed. I'm hungry. And we've been going for 3.5 hours for a member stream. So I think we're gonna finish, call this good. But I will, right after this, I'm gonna reset those. Once this print finishes, I'm gonna bump some of these numbers up and see what happens, and I'll get it on video. So, yeah, a YouTube short is a good idea. I have another idea for a YouTube short. I've taken a couple of little snippets of a video, but I need to edge myself into doing some standalone video content. So with that, thank you for being here. Hopefully this was fun. It was just kind of a work on things. I hope the intention wasn't to finish or really get going on any projects. It was just to hang out. So I hope that was good for you. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all as members. Let's come back tomorrow and play around with TAP and a V2. TAP and a new toolhead board and get that printer up and going. So, hey Lester, just in time. So with that, and there's Charlie. He's kind of sleeping in a weird position right now. We will see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. And where'd my mouse go?